Poker today will change. Everything is different now. You have actually just started one of the best YouTube videos about poker since maybe the days of early DNX, Kid Poker. Welcome to our study session. All right, guys, let's go. Sorry for the kind of subdued intro. Gents, I thought we could look at a particular spot today and work on it in the trainer. And the spot that I chose, you can see the line. So we've got a button raise, big blind call, big blind check. And now what is the big blind going to do here? So the trainer is going to be, we're going to check raise. And then they're going to call. And so what are we going to do? So I thought before we looked at that, we'd look at some pretty esoteric aggregate reports for a minute. In the sense, this is a low frequency spot. So what I'm most curious about here in this aggregate report is first, globally, what's our check raise, right? So globally, our check raise is 8 plus 5, looks like 13% to me. So 13% across all the flops in this aggregate report, we're check raising. So that's piece one. So I guess it's low frequency. And what the other thing that's interesting to me is if you look across all flops, so this is sorted by, let me just change this, sort by flops. All right, now we're sorted by flops. It looks like we're check raising pretty much every flop at some frequency across our entire range in the big blind. We've got these interesting spikes here. If you guys had to guess, what do you think these spikes are going to be?
They're probably going to be like lower-ish because we're big blind, right?
Yeah, we're big blind, and we're big blind. We checked flop, button, bet, and now we have the option to
I
fold
think
call.
spikes. My prediction is spikes are going to be paired boards and like kind of lower-ish on
Yeah,
the
I don't know.
spectrum.
I've not looked at these.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if we're in big blind, and this is big blind button, so if we're big blind, I would guess, yeah. My guess is paired boards. I'm not really sure. Paired boards are something super connected. Obviously, that all changes down in this region right here.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can see down there. There's a higher concentration in the lower cards, and then the concentration around the kings, queens, jacks are all probably going to be in the paired
Yeah, I bet you're right.
variety.
Let's see. Yep, paired board. Look at that. Good guess, Mike.
And big spikes on the trip boards.
And there we go. Yeah, we do get a lot of check raising on the chip bullets. So
So you're betting your quads, which you don't have?
yes, exactly. Depending on quads you don't have. So that's the first thing that I think we can glean from this report. It's that paired boards have more check raising. So we get to increase our well, let's do it this way. So globally, 13%, right? Now let's look at flops. Let's filter flops and go to paired. Okay, now we're just looking at paired flops. We're finding our rate calculations that time. Yeah, we go up to about, what is that, like 16%? So that's definitely a spike there. And if I had to guess the reason, it's because there's less pairs for him to have. I don't think we have a pair advantage pre-flop because we don't have aces, kings, queens, and jacks. But for whatever reason, it says we do like to check raise on paired boards. And my guess would be because there's less pairs for him to have.
And
Now
trips
let's, oh, I'm sorry.
and trips, like not necessarily pairs.
Ah, yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point. One thought that comes to mind is that maybe because we have a wider range in big blind, we might have more trips. So you have like more board coverage. I'm not sure. All right, one final thing to look at, and then we'll get to the trainer. Let's look at what boards we check raise the most and start with the small check raise. So again, just what we confirmed, trips and paired boards, but we really like these 9-9, 10-10 boards. To the point that we're across our entire range of hands, regardless of what we have, we're check raising like 25%. And then let's see if that correlates. So these 9-9, 10-10 boards we really love. 9-9, 10-10, 8-8. Let's see if that correlates when we do the big sizing. That's different. That's like, I have no idea. There's no pattern here. 4-6, 6-4-7. Well, I guess these boards, some of them, we're the only one with a straight, right? Like 6-7. So we get this big sizing sometimes. Every one of these, there's a straight available. Except that one, a straight available. But on some of these, we can see that the straight available, and we have a straight advantage. So last thing to look at here, and we'll play in the trainer. It's actually look at this. So this is our most check raise board in the solver. Yeah, we're just, if we pulled this up, we'd be like, what? What's this? But for whatever reason, well, the 2 misses, right? And then we must have a trips advantage here. Look at ranges. I don't know if we do have trips advantage. Not really, but we do check raise this board the most. Maybe it's because we have equal amount of trips. Close to equal. But the 2 misses. So,
I mean, the button is just, destroying us here. Why do we get so many check raises?
yeah, I'm not sure. You're right. Button has a range advantage, button has a nut advantage, and button even has the trips advantage. I do not know. It's crazy to look at this flop. Maybe, yeah. Other than saying it's an anomaly. That's all. That's all I can think of. Anybody have any ideas why we get to totally attack this bet? Maybe the answer is that he's not supposed to use this size. Nope, he always uses this size.
I was thinking maybe it's because they have a lot more trash hands. The button would have a lot more trash hands, but looking at that breakdown, it didn't seem so like they did.
The range versus range.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they don't. I mean,
Like if you look at like best hands, weak hands, trash hands, I thought maybe they would have like a high concentration of trash hands, but because they have so many more combos.
yeah. Well, 500 combos versus 300. They've got a lot more combos.
But we have more trash hands. The big blind has more trash hands. So I thought that's not the reason.
Yeah. It's kind of an interesting linear equity graph because it does this weird thing right at the top. And essentially, we're equal in nut advantage. Well, that's what it shows. It looks like here, but it actually ends up they have without advantage. All right, should we go? Anybody else want to see anything else in this aggregate report, or should we just go to the trainer?
Let's go to the trainer and realize just how terrible I am at check raise check raise nodes.
You're not the only one. All right, this is the first one. This is
Yep.
so again, if you look at the line,
Right. So
button raise, big blind call.
Yep.
Big blind check, button bet.
Okay.
We check raise. Turn comes, now what do we do?
You want to take a few and then we'll pass it around?
Yeah, it's a good idea. So this is so why did we check raise? This is probably very low frequency. We don't have much going on here. And we're at the bottom of our range. I wonder though, this hand is so bad, I wonder if we continue to lie. My first gut is that we want some blockers of some type. And we've got a sliver of showdown. I think this might be a check. Actually, we got a sliver of showdown. He called a big bet, right? So that's the other thing to point out. This is the big sizing. There's two sizings that the GTO wizard uses for check raising. This check raise to 10.9 big blinds, 11 big blinds is the big sizing. So I'm gonna just say this is a check. Yeah, just give up. We really filtered his range.
Could you show the range? Oh, okay, it's going.
We can look at the ranges. So that works. And I think we check again. Right down
I
here at the
thought we
bottom.
check raise only like not flush draw and blockers. Show on the flop range. Check raise.
Well, we can see, yeah, you can see this here. This is a very low frequency check raise. And fold.
All right, well played, Larry.
Yeah, yeah. Did you want to look at what the range
Yeah,
was
yeah.
on flop?
Yeah, show the flop, please. Check raise. Because I thought he has only flushes. Like both of us, like we still playing so many flushes.
So okay, so here's our we are in the slivers. There is the tiniest sliver of check raise here with the threes. We're just not really doing it.
So the pure calling flushes and raising fees, I don't get it.
Well, we don't have many raises, first part.
Okay,
And
worst
well, we're-
flushes make sense, right? To raise, but like
well, let's see what we're raising. We're raising our, I think these are gonna be low flushes. Yeah, we got a lot, our check raises are around like like second pair. These are pretty. Let's still look at it this way. So these are our check raises, right? So a lot of crap. So we are at some frequency, but not a lot. Check raising our best flushes, right? But and then we're check raising ace of spades. And then we're gonna check raise a bunch of no, I mean this. Well, 5-3 has equity. He thinks it has equity. We're kind of semi bluffing, I guess, down here. Monotone boards are their own animal. They are very weird strategy and solver.
but like in game, I don't know if we need to slow play as many flushes. Well, I
Oh,
don't know.
okay, I see your point.
I don't know. It's like very tricky.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess the point is why it doesn't slow play its flushes. So here's our flushes.
That's pretty cool.
So our flop flushes are here. And we are raising them. We're raising them 15%. So, I mean, the solver's balanced, right? And 15% is going to track with what most check raise frequencies are on boards. So it's going to balance its check raise with the nuts and second nuts and queen highs flushes, just like it does everything else. And we're getting
Thank
bet
you.
into. So if we look, this is so we're going to have check raises just at globally actually pretty low, 16%. So we're going to have to balance it a little bit and not check raise everything. If the solver were to check raise pure every good flush, then it would never get paid on it in solver land. Now, whether that's a good plan for humans, probably not. Probably we could play a little bit more face up against humans. All right, next one. I'll do a couple more. All right, we got a gut shot and that's it. Repeat king. Question becomes, do we continue our lie? We did not turn equity. This king takes away. This might be a give up. This king takes away from our king X. Yep. Give up. Now we've got very marginal showdown. So I think we check again. And we lose, and we win. I'll do a couple more and then pass it on to you guys.
You're perfect right now, Larry.
I know pressure's on, Mike. I'm gonna have to drink a drink of water here just to get ready to lose. All right, next one. That's, I think, a really bad card because a lot of his continues to our very aggressive check raise are going to be ace-X. Like any any suited ace, spade, suited ace, heart continued. So I think but we've turned additional equity. I'm gonna vote give up. We can mix. Finally, we get to actually continue, but mostly we give up. You guys see a theme here?
A little bit.
Now we just fold. Nice answer. What does he bluff us with? Just ace king. All right, so what I do three? I'll do a couple more and then pass it on. Maybe we'll look at this a little bit. So this ace I think is really bad. And let's just confirm that. Turn comes now. Let's look here. It actually shifts this ace. But once his range is heavily filtered here, because he calls, and the ace comes, we lose the range advantage despite our highly polarized check raise range. Well, I guess because it's highly polarized, that's why we lose that range advantage. Rather, this is a different card. Let's make this repeat two instead. Well, first, let's look at this. So he's at 53%. We are a 46.7% dog.
Look at it prior to look at it on the flop. What is our,
Sure.
when it comes to the big blinds? Yeah.
So on flop, before any betting goes in, he is got the range advantage. After we put in our, let's see if this shows. Nope, doesn't change. Now it changes to us after our three bet. Then the turn comes. And this ace comes and he's now back with the range advantage. So see what happens here. So I'm not sure if this is an artifact of the card or his filtered range. No, that card's even better for him. Yeah, it's because of his filtered range that calls that aggressive check raise. He's got a much better range than we do. We've got check raise bluffs. All of his trash is gone. He has no bluff calls. So he has a much stronger range here. Next time. All right, we did turn additional equity. We turned the gutter to go. Now this seems like something I can get behind, right? The last two would be hard to find for humans. This
Yeah,
one,
this
I think,
seems more intuitive.
yeah, this exactly more intuitive. And then we've even turned additional equity, so I think we continue to get to lie here. Yeah, we do. Oops. Now this is an interesting spot. This is gonna mix, I think. What do you guys think? You think I'm gonna pure fold, mix, or pure call? What do you guys think?
Kind of gross.
Yes, it is.
I mean, pot odds are basically 3-1 or 4-1, right?
They are right here. That's where our pot odds are, 33%.
The 2-1. And they're all clean, right? They're all clean outs.
They're all clean outs, and we have the ace.
I guess you could have some dirty outs to a set and they could spike a boat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. We could have a set. I think people do this a lot with the sets. I don't think solver will. I don't think solver will do this with the set. I think a solver views is the amount of equity as worth a slow play most of the time. You can check that. So I think we mix. I think it's gonna do both. I think this is not a pure fold in solver land. Because of the odds we're giving and because of our equity to the nuts in 2 dimensions, if you would. I'm gonna fold because that's, I think, mostly what you should do against humans.
Yeah.
But I think on your calls, nope, I'm wrong. I'm very wrong.
Yeah, I don't think we don't have enough.
Yeah.
Because what do we got? 13?
Yeah, I must be confusing. I'm confusing this spot with a flop shove, I think.
Basically
Do we
13
call-
out, assuming the ace is not good, but
Yeah,
ace can still be good. That gives us 16 outs. And that's right on the border.
so the question for me becomes, so I don't know about you guys, but I do see this in game where you take so Peter Clark has a name for this. Carrot corner, who I'm a fan of. And he calls us the fight or flight. And he says often on turn, when villain is facing aggression, he is gonna fight or flight, which means he's gonna shove or fold. And this is definitely with humans, we see this because this is a fight or flight spot. And we know, it's strategically sound, because we see solver doing it. Yeah, exactly, half of the number. But what is our calling range? It's like, what do we need to call this shove that I'm most interested in? So we need exactly, this is, I think, interesting, right? Pot odds. Solver doesn't know anything about pot odds, but it matches pot odds. This is an example of how Even, we were using pot odds before solvers, and this kind of validates it. We need 34% to call. So anything that the solver perceives as having 34% pot share or equity, it's gonna call here. And so like king four, very close, right? Pair plus draw, super close, but it folded. And then queen five, pair plus draw, just gets in there. Ace four, pair plus draw gets in there. The other thing I was thinking about, do we have any combo? So I thought, so we get down to the draws. And we do call some combo draws. Ours was right on the edge. I think we had this, right? Ours was right on the edge of a call. It's like a king three we're calling. That's good enough. There's some kind of blocker properties to the ace. 6-4 is good enough. 3-4 is good enough. Pair plus draw.
What is that flush draw that is in the calling range?
Yeah, good question.
It's still a pair.
Pair plus draw. Yeah,
Pair or open ender.
Yep.
yeah. Pair and open ender. Yep. That
Oh no, that's a
just
straight.
gets in there.
6-3 suited is a straight.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Yes, that's straight. What are we doing with all our straights? We're always calling our sets, always calling our two pairs, always calling our straights. Two pair get called, always calling two pair here. Two pair can improve, right? And our top pair are jacks. It's kind of weird blocker stuff. Mostly calling. Okay. Anybody else want to do some? What do we got in here? MSI, Bill, Jeff, Steve.
I
Steve,
can
you
go,
want to do
but
so?
I can
Mike?
go, but I can try, but I have a break in 8 minutes.
You have a break in 8 minutes?
Yeah, I can do for 8 minutes and then I have 5-minute break. I'm
Okay.
playing
Perfect.
GTs.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so next one.
Um,
You're thinking.
I have no idea, these spots are very hard. I watched like how we play, but they seem like very hard.
They are tough. I think they are tough. Especially it's even tougher when, there we go. Best move. Okay, great. Next. All right, here you go. So you chose to check raise top pair with some back doors and you, no, second pair with backdoor.
I'm surprised it check raised at all.
Yeah, we're gonna get some pretty low frequency check raises in here. But that I think is a good lesson because, I think all of us, definitely me, can check raise more.
So we are checking this.
Okay, we are gonna check this after we get check raise.
For what reason it blasts? I don't understand.
Well, it's. We can look in that. Why don't we run through the hand and we'll look at the solve.
Yeah.
So check here.
So we blast queen 9, jack 9 as well, or what? What's the logic? We blast entire range.
What's the
Okay.
logic of blasting 10, 7?
Yeah, but we blasting like everything then. I don't. Okay, let's play. So
We'll
now
play through it first.
I don't know. Like,
So we've got a marginal hand. I think you're gonna call.
yeah, I think so. Let's play it. We have.
You get to double check raise this. That is fierce. Call. What do you want to do now?
Check. Check jam. Show turn. What are we betting on the turn? After check raise.
Sure. So after we check raise this combo. Well, this range, this texture rather. Here. check, turn. Okay, here we are. This is where the trainer starts. Yeah, we're just mostly betting. We are, for whatever reason, this card doesn't want us to slow down with any of our range, pretty much. If you look at the breakdown here, we are slowing down at the very bottom of our check range region, right? So we chose to check raise all these aces. So it makes sense that we're slowing down with these aces because we have just a tiny amount of showdown. And then these very bottom hands we're just shutting down. But over the great majority of our range, we're continuing the line. And the only part where it's not a lie is up here. So like sets. Open ender. Oh, that's a straight now. Straights. Okay, so that makes sense. Now I get it. We are betting this because such a large opponent of our check range is the open ender, and the open ender got there. So if we go back here to what we're raising, we look at Queen Jack. A lot of it's here. Queen Jack. And so when we get this turn, which completes such a large portion of our check raise bluff range, we're going to bet. So the fact that our bluff's completed drives this bet. What do you guys think? Does that make sense, or am I full of it?
Yeah, it's correct, but I thought like this card doesn't improve us enough. Like his continuing range is also very strong, right?
It is, but we now get to represent the nuts.
But like he has nuts as well, and he has sets. We don't.
Sure, he does. But
Okay,
we are
okay.
taking the aggressive line here. Of course, we're gonna we're gonna bluff into the nuts sometimes. That's part of the fun, but we essentially are now going to represent the nuts, and that's why we represent the nuts, because our check raise region includes Queen Jack. And because of that, we get to represent it.
Okay.
So, all right. Next one. See, this is what we're representing. Now, this is a really nice companion to that last hand, because you got there with your gutter, which you check raised at a very aggressive sizing.
Yeah, but also we can overbet this, I saw. And was there like flush draw last time?
Say it again.
Was there flush draw or like mono or like rainbow board?
It's a
On the
rainbow
flop.
board, right? So it was a rainbow flop. He bet
That's-
B33. We check raised to 11 with our gutter. He called, and we luck boxed into the nuts. We have the nuts right now.
So I think this is a little different. I could be wrong, but I think it's either 75 or 125. It will check with like a plus frequency thing. No.
So we're gonna have some check traps here.
Yeah, but we have to, but like it's solver always like traps some nuts. But I think we mostly bet 125 or 75 here.
Okay, what size would you like to use?
I mean 75 is safe bet.
So my thought is that you're gonna have. So yeah, I think you're right. So when the solver has, right now we've probably got like 90% equity. So whenever the solver has that much equity, it has many options available to it in its betting strategy. And I think that we're gonna have. I think we're gonna have overbets, B75s, and checks.
Maybe with I don't know, with a spade maybe check. But I don't know if we have
We
offsuit
probably
pair.
check more with the spade.
Oh, we don't have offsuit. Like we don't check raise offsuit tonight.
Yeah, so we get lots of options, right? It likes this. It actually likes this very innocuous B50, but our size is fine.
This is more clear because 80 like very clearly improves us, and last time like 9 is not that clear.
Well, it, in the last hand, it didn't improve our combo, but it improved our range, right? Think,
Oh, yeah, but, yeah. I
I
meant.
mean, so, and so solver is not, solver is very much focused on range versus range. Solver knows three things. It knows SPR, it knows range versus range, and it knows betting action. And on those three components, it's basing its strategy. He calls, so not the greatest board, but we're never gonna do, not the greatest run out, but
we
what
jam,
would you like to do?
jam. I'll be back in 4 minutes.
Okay,
Why? What is this?
uh, I wonder if it's because of board paired. We'll check, we'll try it out. It's probably because when the board paired, a couple things happen. When the board pairs, he can't call as much, and he also has some component of sets. We don't have the nuts anymore. But we'll look at that real quick.
Oh, was it checking actually a lot? The 9, I missed it.
I don't
Because I
think it was-
think we jam boats and check all the 9s maybe.
So we do check at a very low frequency with our straights,
No, again wrong. Okay.
not very much though. We trap check our boats at some frequency. But mostly we're taking this. I think we're not shoving because the 8 obviously doesn't, we don't have the nuts anymore, and also because he can't call as much. So much of our check raising region is based on sets. Let's change this to, let's see if we get big bets now. Yeah, so it's all about that repeat 8. That repeat 8 changes everything. We can see that here. Got some chat. Ace gate. All right. I think MSI had to leave. Who's the next victim?
I'll take a few if nobody wants to step up.
All right, Mike's in the game, yo.
I would have gotten many of those previous wrong.
Yeah, these are tough.
All right, so I just need to recall the action. We call in the big blind. We check. They bet small, right? They bet the third,
Yes.
and then we check raise, and they call, and here we are.
Yeah, we check raise to we chose the big size. We check raise to 11. And this is our they call, and this is our turn card.
Okay. This feels like a check now, although we do kind of still have our gut shot, and we block them from having that. Well, we block them from auto folds, but I'm checking here. I
Okay.
don't see why we would continue with our hand and that board and their filtered range.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the most obvious heuristic here is when you're check raise bluffing. Is did we improve? And the answer is yes. Well, not really. We didn't improve. I strike that. This doesn't improve us. The only thing that happened is that we're blocking his nuts. Which is pretty painful. Let me know. I'm
Yeah.
here all night. Tip your waitress.
Yeah. So I'm checking.
Yeah, I think check. Yeah, I'm not sure at all. Yeah, and we can do anything. So we continue. He's considering if he's going to blast us.
He's looking into my soul. But
This
I have
is
a
what
hoodie
looking into your soul looks
sunglasses
like
on.
right here. This is solver looking into your soul.
I have a hoodie and sunglasses on.
He's gonna check.
He really knows he's like this.
Yeah.
He's like, I got you.
He was
Nope,
just
he
sitting
checked.
there. Finally, the dealer like, it's on you. Oh, I check.
So he checked back. You now have king high.
Yeah. This almost feels like a mandatory bet, although, like again, he's super filtered because our check raise is to the big size, and it's. I mean, we're basically beating like hearts, backdoor hearts he had on the flop, king 10. We do block 10 jack, which does, I suppose he's going to check at some frequency once he gets there, but very low frequency. So I'm going to take this opportunity and bet. It's probably mixing, but I'm going to make it 86, B86.
Yeah, I think B86 is good. So one, I think you're right. Now, one thing I've noticed a little bit in these situations is that solver sometimes puts in a cheeky blocker bluff here. But B86 is
I like a cheeky blocker with with if my hand was like really bad, like
yeah.
like a low, like a really low showdown hand. I mean, sure, King Jack is pretty low here once he gets filtered like this, but I think we can beat some draws. I guess the worst part is that if we could also get bluffed by those hands.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm still sticking with my 86.
Yeah, I think probably you're right, and I think also your hand is probably a larger sizing because you're bluffing the nuts. Oh,
Yeah.
give up. Solver's like, Solver's like, you win. Let's see if we get the fold. All right, today
So,
we're unfortunately gonna
so
have to
turn
draw.
frequency,
there it
check
goes.
frequency.
Nice.
We got
Show
the
Okay.
fold.
Could you show turn check frequency? Because I think it's very low.
Okay, say that again. What's our check frequency on big blind?
No, on the turn, why we checking King Jack? Like, we checking, but I think it's like mandatory bluff. And then if you have to bluff this.
Let's look.
It's all mixing, right?
Yeah, it's mixing, so I wonder, maybe.
It was mixing. It was doing anything.
Mostly checking, I think.
Yeah, so
No,
so we
most
look
of betting I would
at turn, our combo was mixing. So our combo is going to be here. So these are all our gut shots, right? And all our gut shots are checking at
we bluff Jack 8 and stuff.
a lot. Our combo was a
King Jack off.
king jack off, right? So right here. So we're mixing.
Yeah, but Jack 8 is full frequency button. Yeah, actually.
Um,
Prefers the heart with our King of Hearts.
prefers the heart. It likes blocking continues, right? So it likes blocking his flush draws. So we can see it here, right? So. Yeah, so it likes blocking the flush draws. It doesn't like unblocking flush draws. I think we were unblocking flush draws. We were unblocking flush draws. So one heuristic to take away from this is if we're blocking this hand, which is going to always continue any size. I mean, this is a really good example of blockers, right? If we had the king of hearts, we want to bluff. Because we're blocking exactly this combo, which is going to continue to almost any size that we bet. So. All right, next hand, Mike.
Hmm.
It's an interesting one.
These are always so just like outlier type stuff that
We are an
check.
outlier land here.
Yeah, check. I'm pure check.
Actually, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
The only combos that bluff is like ace-x, so.
Well, we're representing aces are trip kings, and our
No, we don't
frequency
have
of trip
aces.
kings now is 0.
Yeah,
Our frequency of trip kings is very low. We either trip kinged it or quadded it, so.
We have more quads than him.
Well played, sir.
Oh yeah, range check.
I'm not sure, yeah. This is a awkward spot.
I think it's a call though.
Yeah,
I didn't check to check fold. We still have some value.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
fold or raise. Okay. I thought we were gonna be okay.
do we want to look at what our calling threshold is here?
yeah.
Let's look at our calling threshold. Where do we, what do
I
we
really
call
thought
here?
I really thought unblocking his front door spades was gonna be a thing, but it wasn't.
Um. Here, so where, wow. We do not have a check call range. That is very unusual.
To the board.
Our check call range does not exist. We have a check shove,
So-
check raise range. With our king, right? With our kings that we were slow playing. But we just
And
don't
then what
really
are-
have a check call.
What are the check raise bluffs?
Good question. So. Raise, filters. Well, let's do it this way. I like this way better. Raise. Breakdown. Down in this part, like
Queen
Jack
jack.
9. Jack 10. Jack 10. Jack 10. Jack 10. Right down like Queen 9. No. So I maybe could see,
So basically, all the hands that block, his like king jack, king queen, king
yeah, that's what I was
and
thinking.
king nine,
I
things
could
that
get behind the queens. Like I could see, okay, I'm blocking King Queen. From his origin range. And so. I get to pull this stuff. Interesting hand. Alright. Mixed hand, sir. Alright, never mind.
yeah.
We called, that's right. Okay, what do you want to do now?
Well, no,
It's broken, it
it's
doesn't
not-
matter.
yeah, it's not gonna tell you what's
Yeah,
correct.
Shove. Fold. Mixing. So. This is
Alright,
an
king
interesting
jack
hand to
10.
check raise, right? It's check raising this. With a gutter and over. Another potential backdoor in the bottom ascendant straight. So he called you. You get here with ace 9.
He bets small, which I think seems like, I don't know, I guess when this board, he's gonna have some big bets too. So I wonder if the small bet kind of triggers some check raises with hands that you kind of don't really see.
Oh, I see your point. That is a good point. Well, we'll look at that. So
Um,
your argument
but-
is he took a low frequency bet size on this board texture on
Yeah.
flop. And does solver react to that with an outsized check raise frequency? Which
Yeah,
brings
but-
in hands like this. That's
So
a
at
very
this
good
point-
question. We'll look at that.
At this point, I'm just gonna check now.
Okay.
I'm not continuing.
Yeah, I think that was kind of a one and done situation. I agree. There's a check. Yeah.
Yeah.
Check, check.
Check again.
I agree. This is like, we have a molecular level of showdown.
All right, now do we get to bluff, raise this hand? And I say no. So fold.
So let's ask a couple questions here. Is this a pure bluff catcher? Obviously, yes. It's high in check raise board. Is this a over bluffed line? No, because his filters, he does have some draws that he called. Like 9-8. Or maybe like a queen,
Well-
like queen 4.
Does the over bluff, under bluff question not really apply to a solver?
That is a good line. That is a good question. And I think the answer is you are correct. I don't think it does. He's not a
Yeah.
human. He's a solver.
That is.
Yeah, I think you have a very good point. All right.
So he's just gonna be
Well-
perfectly balanced and
Nice answer. He's going to thin value. Couple more.
Okay. All right. See, now this one, this one's a little more intuitive, I think. Like I might be able to find this in game as opposed to some of those others, but
Yeah.
I kind of like this, and I kind of like our range here has potentially improved.
Nice.
I
You're
like
thinking about range. Excellent. Yeah, 5-6 now.
I like to
Got there.
continue here. I think this might actually mix check and betting somewhat large.
So this can mirror some previous hands we saw where
Mhm.
the bluff portion of our check raise range just
Yeah,
got just nutted up.
and I think when we look at if we look at this in solver, like we're gonna find that region that's all around those eights and sevens and nines and sixes and blah 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 are gonna be kind of heavily check or heavily continue here or in check raise. So I'm gonna take the aggressive line and continue, and I'm gonna go big. And just how big though? Let's hit it. Let's hit a beat 125 here. No,
I-
oh good, I got that one way wrong. It's got a
Well,
little
break
sliver.
it. 0.6 times sometime you're taking it. I think probably it's driven by the fact it's got marginal AF showdown.
Yeah.
And maybe the other, I thought your line was good too. My only conclusion is I'd have taken your line here because this card improves our bluffs. But maybe it's just it's more motivated by the fact we've got marginal showdown.
Yeah, maybe the ace on the board there is better.
Okay. So now it gets interesting because we overbet he called.
Sure did. Um, and there's just no way we can show this down and win. We do block nuts. There's no real back doors that he's going to continue. Well, I guess he could. I mean, with the line that we've taken, I feel like we have to bet now. Whereas if we had checked the turn, our stack to pot ratio is really bad. Like our fold equity is going to be really low.
Yeah, we're gonna give him what, 25%?
Skate says, do it. No, I think our stack to pot ratio is too low to do this, so I'm checking.
Yeah, well played, sir. Do you want to let's repeat this hand and take the other line just to
Okay.
do it?
Yep.
Okay, so we've got marginal. What we've learned is that, well, let's look right here first. Let's look and see where his trash hand, big bet, aggressive continues are coming from. So let's look at one specific portion of the range and we'll go on. So we're gonna look at bet, trash hands. And so these are, I mean, we were pretty close with our combo, right?
Yeah, and like that whole region there, like we were kind of predicting.
This would be the part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said it actually. Throw it out to you. You predicted. Yeah. Or this region.
But we
This
just
region
don't want to use,
specifically.
and we just don't want to use our pairs.
Yeah, I think, yeah. So let's confirm that. Let's look at, so this is our unfiltered range. Let's look at top pair, which we're evidently not, we're not check raising a lot, which makes sense. Second pair, third pair. Yeah, we mix, but if you take away third pair, which is definitely the buffer region, like all these eights want to check a lot. Not entirely, but they want to check a lot.
So your pairs with that interact with like the combo draw type stuff are good.
Yeah, want to bet. Yeah, I see your point. Yeah, so these two mix because they are interacting with the combo draw. They can still nut up.
Yeah,
And include bottom pair here, third pair, include
Sure.
that in the filter. Yeah, same deal.
Yeah, yeah, so our sevens above. Check, including our combo. But these sevens down here, which interact with the, have a gut shot, really, is where you put it,
Yep.
are betting at some frequency. Okay, clear. Close this window, back to the trainer.
So
Okay,
check.
so we took the check line here, right? Well, we're
Yeah.
going to try the check line here. See what he comes with. What do you think now?
Well, now that we've taken the check line, when we got here, I think this is where we just continued to check. Now that
Yeah,
we've got here,
I think you're right.
okay.
Well, you got to realize your equity. Another one?
Yep. Now, if you're a villain and you had a6, which is what he had in the first attempt, he called the check raise and the bit and the over bet. I know if I was in game and had a6 there, boy, I would be absolutely shaking in my boots with top pair shit kicker.
Yeah,
Although
I agree.
that is a gut shot, though. A6 is a gut shot, I guess.
I think the gut shot would allow him to call.
Okay.
Do we want to, let's see. Now you have me carrying. So let's look specifically at his top pairs when we take the line that we did the
Yeah.
first one time we went through this. So bet check raise. Okay, now we're here. Instead of the check line, we're going to take the B125 here. And then let's look specifically at top pair for villain. So in position, top pair.
Yeah, notice ace 9, ace 10, like the hand in this in the second sim, all those big aces are folding, whereas the ace and the gut shots and two pairs are all calling.
Ace king. Indifferent. Yeah, so what we know here, what we're learning here is that having the ability to improve is what we want against this level of aggression. When we have the ability to improve to the straight, that's just enough for us to call with our top pair facing this kind of outsized over bet aggression.
Mm-hmm.
The top pairs really, I mean, so there's fight or flight, if you would, up here. Top pairs mostly are just really shook.
And then we did check on the river, right? So go check on the river. So we bet big. He called with a6, put a blank up there. It was a jack of hearts.
Okay, you want to see if like blank comes on, so you want to have a call here?
Yeah. And then I want to see his reaction to our half pot jam with top pair.
Okay, okay,
Put the jack of hearts up there.
jack of hearts. SPR is now 0.5, right? All in. So let's see what part of our region we're doing it. So yeah, that's our only bet size. It's all in if we choose. We do it, and you want to see what his calling threshold is?
Yep. Yeah, he just calls all his aces. Yeah, we just didn't have any fold equity.
Well, he's kicker driven at this point, right?
Right, which I guess you're right. Yeah, he does. He had ace 6 and ace 5. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, so his busted gutters are now done with it. But if he's got a good enough kicker, he's gonna call. Anything else you guys want to see in this solve? Hey, Dean, I see you in chat. Welcome. Dean is out in Las Vegas now. Good luck, Dean. Okay, so. Let's go. Do you want to do one more?
Okay.
Alright.
Feels like just a pretty easy check.
Yeah, it does. By the way, can anybody else see? I gotta ask a question. Can anybody else see Dean in the chat, or is it just me?
I do not.
Nope.
So Dean, Dean, you're using, for some reason, it's not showing you in the regular chat. But I'm logged in as Scotty. I'm pretending to be the alpha today. So I can see your chat. Oh, no, never mind. Guys, I'm wrong. Never mind. I saw Dean in the chat, but that's because this is from December 29th, 2023. All right, forget everything I just said. Let's move on. So,
Yeah, so I'm just checking here.
just checking. Okay.
I just don't see a reason to bet.
Yeah, I agree. You've got showdown. I guess maybe, do you think it's check raising here because it's got top pair and back door? It's got I'm sorry, it's got middle pair and two back doors. Right? Do you think that's what's driving its check raise with this?
Yeah, I'm guessing it's kind of low frequency too.
We'll look at it. So check here, I think, yeah. We continue our lie if we want,
Quite often, half the time.
our semi-lie, I guess.
Equity denial.
So yeah, what do you think?
Calling here. A little
And
slower
raises. Yeah,
raising.
mostly calling.
Hmm,
This is
I wonder
interesting.
wonder if we can donk here.
So
I think the fact that we have a queen though takes out our frequency of donking.
so we're blocking the nuts in two dimensions, if you would, right? We're blocking the straight and we're blocking the flush.
Like if we had something like just bottom pair with like queen, I don't know, we wouldn't have queen four. I guess we could have, no, we wouldn't have queen four. That'd be two pair. I'm just thinking something that would be donkable. That's a bluff. But I just think I'm gonna check here. Oh, it's
Look at
pure,
that.
pure donk, pure
Our
jam.
blockers are so friggin' good. We're turning this into a bluff.
What size is that? That's like an overbet, or is it? What's the pot? Yeah, it's like a 2x, almost 2x.
2x. So
1.5.
So one thing I'm gonna ask you guys here is, do you think this is a good play against humans?
Yeah, now that, yeah, I do. I think
Okay.
you're gonna have a lot of fold equity.
And I think this is blocker driven, right? We're blocking the nuts in two ways. So let's change this just for fun.
What do you do? Did he fold?
All
So
aces? Nick,
he
aces?
I don't know if he folded.
Yeah, he folded. He did. He folded.
Wow.
You can see it. You can see
Folded
it up in
his
the
aces.
upper right corner there. It
So-
says fold.
Chris, you're asking about blockers. There is a tool that we can use to do that. So Chris was asking about let me get the chat back up. Just make sure I understand. Is there anything in the solver telling you about the blockers, or is that intuition? So there is something actually. Let's see, let's pull it up. So here, let's look at this combo. So these numbers tell us so the higher the number, the better our blockers, right? So we see our blockers are telling us that our value removal is high, which is good. Well, let's look at your combo specifically. We had queen, spade, diamond. Spade, diamond here. Not quite as good, but so this value number is telling us we're remove. So if we're gonna bluff, we want to have a 10-1 would be our best, right? Where we have maximum blocker, maximum value removal, and the minimum trash removal. Yeah, it kind of goes into it. So 10 is really good. I guess we want to have 10-10 is what we want. A 10 is, okay, we don't want to block trash. We want to unblock trash if we're bluffing. So we want like a 10-1 or a 10. Let's see what's our, but let's look at our bluffs first, right? So let's go to, it's a good question. Let's dive into this a little bit. So trash hands here. First thing is we're blocking a lot. We're bluffing a lot with our trash hands on this line. Where we checked that he called this jack for whatever reason is gonna allow for a lot of bluffs. So this is our trash that's bluffing. Let's go to all in. These are our bluffs. Trash, all in. And let's just let's look for maximum. So we're bluffing this pure here. This is a good example, right? So these are our numbers.
Do we need a spade?
Yeah. So this ace of spades is always our classic bluff card, right? Blocking the nut flush. And blocking a set of jacks. So these are the kind of cards that we want to bluff. Value removal. So this that has a very bad value removal, but it has a very good trash removal. So that I hope answers your question. It does have GTO Wizard does have a mechanism to understand what your trash removal and your value removal is, what your blockers are. Okay. All right. Anybody else want to take a shot?
Or why not?
Go skate. Skate in the house. OG. Skate is the first one to get to get a massively good hand here.
It's already got nothing on.
I know, man. You've got a set. You got a set.
Yeah. That's our first value check raise.
No
Yes,
set,
that's our
no
first
bet.
real check raise. So you got a set, and you actually have a card that brought in some of your bluffs. But he has 6-4 suited, I think.
Yeah, okay,
So you're like, you got a great hand, dude.
yeah, can't see a planet where I check this hand with all the draws available, so we're probably gonna want to size maybe a little bit more up because of that. So I'm gonna go with mixing 50, 75, and maybe some 125, but I'm gonna go with mostly 50 and 75 with mostly 75.
75.
Yep.
You got there, man.
Yep, no 50, yeah, no small, no small.
You're mind melding with the AI. It's like a science fiction film.
Well, that's not
What
really
is that river?
I did not want to see that river. Why me? You know, we don't have a spade, we don't block any, I guess we, I don't know, do we bet small here and fold to the raise? Yeah, let's go ahead with, mix, I guess mixing check and betting small around 35%. No,
Close.
betting.
It wants to bet, and so I don't think this is a bluff. I think it still has enough value to bet even when the queen comes. I mean, obviously the queen is a
Yeah.
horrible card,
Yeah.
but we're still gonna, this hand just it's got too much equity.
You
Let's
wanna get-
confirm that real quick. There's two things I want to look at.
Okay.
The first thing I want to look at is, I don't think you should have queen four in his range, the RFI from the button. I just want to make sure.
Queen four suited?
Yeah,
Yeah, he will.
he does. Okay,
To raise first in.
yeah, it's cuspy. Doesn't have
Oh,
it.
I thought you said queen four.
Oh, sorry. I think I did say queen four. I meant queen six, 6-4. Okay, that's the first thing. And then the other thing I was curious about was, are our sets a value bet? And yes, I think we just have enough equity. So, I mean, the way to look
Oh.
at that is equity, right?
Yeah, that's
So-
true.
We had set of fives. So then so I'm gonna highlight it and then I hope and break down, it's gonna show where it falls. So it does fall within our valuation. This dark part, it should be around, yeah, this is where the fives are. So you can kind of see, this is a little bit mangled, but our value is starting here at about 70% equity. It's like, its value region is from here up. This is the middling region where it's going to check because it's got showdown, and then here and where our bluffs start. And so sevens are a value bet. Yeah, so actually, this is, the cutoff is our bottom set for value, and then we start getting into like two pair, which just do not have enough equity to value bet here. They're probably check calling a lot.
What about
so-
top two?
Which one?
Yeah, we should have top two at some frequency. Clear, don't have. I hate when it does it. Sometimes it makes it dark.
Oh, the queen
So
jack.
here, we don't have top two, I don't think. We didn't get here with
Okay.
top two.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, you're saying something, Skate?
No, I was saying like what Mike was mentioning, the top two. Yeah, so here, can we make an argument for since on the river, you know, certain opponents, maybe especially live, aren't going to be noticing too much of sizing tells, so they're not going to, for example, raise, you know, bluff the river when we bet small. So maybe instead of going 60, we would probably size down at times and maybe get some thin value.
Yeah, I see your point.
Not thin, but
Well, yeah, so the question comes down to, I think it's very much KYC. Maybe some other guys have an opinion, but, I think, I think you have to know your opponent to do that. So your question essentially is,
yeah.
do fives fall into our blocker sizing? And actually, you know, I think we're not using a blocker sizing on this lineup. Your
Yeah.
question is, do we want to lower it to capture value from a greater portion of his range?
I think we do. Don't we have block bets on the river? We
Oh,
don't
no.
block king a6.
Yeah, we don't, well, we do. I mean, yeah, we have it here. We do have a blocker sizing.
Okay.
It's, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I don't know if using a 10% makes a lot of sense here, but,
Yeah, no.
but yeah,
'cause,
yeah, I guess we can. Makes sense to me. I
okay.
think it's a little bit KYC.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, you know, like Solver said all 60, so no other option. I was like, that was kind of weird.
Yeah. So I'll give you guys an option. So we've been, going for an hour with this. So I'll give you two options. Option one is we continue with the trainer, but we flipped the script. So now we're in the button facing the check raise. Or we can go into marked hands. Do you guys have
I
a
like-
preference?
I like this training right now. And I
Okay.
like your idea of flipping the script.
All right, let's flip the script. All right, so we are going to go to flop. This is not what I want. I want this.
I need to start getting my live hands ready for the, you know, for the online thing, probably. So,
Yeah.
what's a good thing for you guys filling before? I think I have to save like hard chat or the replayer thing. What was it?
Yeah, it's easy replay.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. This is it. Yeah, okay. This is flipping the script. So, yeah, Mike put it in for you. All right, so, anybody else want to do this? I can do these. If no one else speaks up, I don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, okay, so we small bet. We get check raise. This is the fold. I think we're gonna find this somewhat easier.
1000%.
I mean, the first question becomes, okay, now I'm gonna get really geeky. Let's do this. When we're looking at what check raise, so we check raise, let's see in ag report, let's just look at some global numbers. How often are we folding across all flops, all combos to this check raise size? And the ag report is going to tell us we're folding half the time, right? So globally, I don't think it's useful to go into this by flop, but I really am curious with the global numbers. So half the time we're folding. So when we're going through this trainer, we're going to be folding it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that I find interesting is that we just don't really re-raise check raise. And so I was talking to someone else about this a couple days ago, and the conclusion we came is that we're not really motivated to re-raise his check raise. Because when we do that, we take away one of our biggest advantages of playing in position. And that is we reduce the SPR. A greater SPR and then playing in position gives us a strategic advantage. We want to keep
Especially-
that. So we're not really motivated to re-raise this check raise.
Especially against the more polarized sizing that we're looking at right now of 100% pot.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point. Well, let's confirm that. Let's look at, yeah. So we were at 3.2. Yeah, it's still pretty
Okay.
small.
Yeah.
I think, I like my SPR theory. I really think it's because we really like keeping the SPR high. Because that gives us the strategic imposition advantage. Because we always have threat to shove. Right? So he's got to play a little bit more defensively. Because this is no limit. So we can always just shove it in his face. And he has to be aware of that. All right, I'll do a couple of these. Back to the trainer. So we're folding here.
Well
Nice ball,
played.
sir. I'm sorry, I missed that.
I said well played.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, make sure you repeat it when you I get a compliment. Okay, so I am not sure here. So I think the first question we ask ourselves is not the absolute equity of our hand. The first question we ask ourselves is, are we able to improve? And even are we able to improve with backdoor? Like the 2 or 3% of backdoor action we have is enough to continue. So we'll look at that here. I'm pretty confident that we're gonna fold a no, well, we have 2 backdoors. I'm not sure. But I think we call here because we've got 2 backdoors. So we do have the ability to improve. Ah, we're mixing. We're even mixing with this combo. I am now curious. Before we continue, let's look at this real quick. I wonder if we fold pure without a spade. With our sevens.
Yeah, I believe so.
Raise. Yeah, we need a spade to continue. Being able to improve at this stack depth is just really strategically important. So we call here. We hope he slows down. And we have to fold.
We also have the backdoor straight, right, in a sense, like
Yeah,
any,
yeah.
any 6, any 4. Yeah.
Look at his, yeah, you're right. Backdoor straight's in there too, and that helps us. Look at his combo he's check raising. That's insane. And not only that, look how he continued. All right, guys. This is your goal for this weekend when you play. Check raise 7-4 suited on this ace high board. All right, next hand. We have nothing, just fold. Kind of seeing the power of the check raise here, aren't we? We don't have enough. Just fold.
This might be a mix.
Yeah, maybe. Because we have a backdoor straight. And well, yeah, it might be a mix. I agree. Oh, it's more than a mix. It's a
Oh.
call.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Let's take that line. It's not much EV, but it's a call. I don't think so if we bet here, we're essentially turning our fives to a bluff, which have marginal showdown. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, check. I mean, I think. Yeah, we
Don't
don't
know.
have any added equity. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have enough. I think we just want to get to showdown. Chat. Chris asks, are all these check raise opportunities? 41. Yeah, so I think that, maybe you can clarify your question a little bit, but these are, so solver's gonna take check raise spots that are low frequency that we don't find very often. Very good players who understand ranges better than me are going to suss out these check raise, low frequency check raise opportunities. But frankly, I don't think humans are gonna find like a 7-4 suited very often. So, but solver's gonna have them, right? It's gonna have like, it's rolling in its solver world, 99 and taking 7-4 as a check raise. I would check that.
Oh,
And we win. Miracle of all miracles.
Nice.
A couple more and I'll pass it on to you guys. All right, now this is an interesting spot. We have a gut shot. We have an over. We don't have. So this is what I think we see common. So this flop is really good for big blind. In fact, I would actually check this flop a lot against a good player.
Yep.
So we've got a gut shot and over. I'm not sure. I think that we, I'm gonna fold. Yeah, I'm fold. It's very close. We're gonna call. Do it this way this time. We're gonna call. We only call with our front door. We're not even calling with our back door. I'll do a couple more. I'll pass it on. These are faster, obviously. Again, we got two back doors. And two overs. Two backdoors and two overs? Might get in there.
Yeah, I think, oh no.
Very close, but we fold. But we're not breaking solver, so let's lose some more money. Open ender going crazy. This card was good for them, so 3-4. Right, this is like 5-7 got there, so it's continuing. It's not only continuing when its its combo improves. It's continuing when its perceived range improves. Is the way to put this. All right, I'm gonna do one
Yep.
more and pass it on to someone else. All right, so middle pair and backdoor. I think we call. It's an easy call. Okay, we are not motivated to, we are not motivated to. I'm going to mute MSI here. We are not motivated to bet here. If we bet, we're essentially turning our nines into a bluff. We do sometimes. This feels like almost a section, like I'm taking a betting lead bet. We hope for check. It's thinking. And we're never turning our nine into a bluff. Nice.
Hmm.
All right, anybody
Yeah.
else want to do it?
Yeah, who went after you the first time?
I think it was MSI.
Okay, let's go.
MSI, you want to take some?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. All right, here we go.
But I didn't see his check raise range on the floor.
In the last hand, what do you, I'm
No,
not.
in general, I like it's raising like very weird hands. Like here, he's raising check down.
Oh, you're not seeing it. I think you mean like, you know, okay. Yeah, he's
so
gonna have
now it's
weird
compared
check
what you
raise hands that we're not used to because we're not finding them because we're mere mortals.
so we call now.
I think we call.
Pretty easy.
So
Yeah.
again, we have to ask ourselves, do we have blockers and can we improve? It's very hard for us to improve here. I guess we have a backdoor straight. So I think we probably improve. Well, we probably call because we can't improve 3% of the time or whatever.
Both our routes are queens.
No,
What
it
is
doesn't like
this?
it. Change.
Ah, so he's actually raising strong with board. But king 10-5, he's raising weak. Or like has like slivers of 10-7.
We can look at what his check raise range is. Let's look at it.
It's just like hard to play when I don't know his range.
It is really hard to play these spots. Yeah, that's why we're going over. So his check raise region is here. We'll focus on the sizing that we're seeing in game. And we'll look at ranges. Look at breakdown. So his top of range is like top two. Right? So top two sets. Two pair. And then we get into this weird kind of, now we're beginning to get to those very best bluffs with 50% equity are like bottom pair and two back doors. Bottom pair, two back doors. Then his low frequency weird bluffs are like the 7-4 again. 7-4. 7-4 with the backdoor flush. 7-4 with the backdoor 6-4, which is straight a bunch of ways. Backdoor straight. These are his lowest frequency bluffs. So. Okay. Fold. What did he buff us with?
Interesting. We continue
three.
king ten. We can
Bluffed us
continue
with
king 10, but
a backdoor. I'm
Gotcha.
sorry, with a gut shot.
Hmm.
All right, next one. All right, we're not clear. We know his range can be quite aggressive, so we're not folding this.
yeah. So we are calling.
We mix.
Right.
Look at this. So I think this is because we just can't improve. Let's look and see what top
think it-
pairs we
I
are
think-
calling.
I think it's ticker driven, right? I think maybe the king 10 plus street and stuff.
Yeah, it might be cricket driven too. Very good point. Skate on point.
I hope so.
So let's just look at top pairs and see what qualities we see. So filter. Top pair. Yeah, it looks like it's quite cricket driven. I mean, so calling pure in this region, but then we can see when we go down, our calling frequency changes, and it must have to do with backdoors. Like, I think we're gonna call like king 8 of hearts here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're calling king 8
Probably
of
all,
hearts.
I think
Nice.
all the king X of hearts are gonna call.
Yeah, you're right. So maybe,
Okay.
and then,
Makes
then we
sense.
see kind of a linear progression, because we are calling a little bit more with each better kicker. Without the backdoor, but mostly we're just folding. And then we get up here where we have backdoor, but we also have backdoor straight and top pair, so we start calling. And now we're like ace king, arguably slow playing. Let's look at this from an equity perspective, just to kind of put it in perspective.
How do we have ace king here?
Good question. We're in the button, so we're uncapped.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So let's compare equities here. So ace king obviously has got the greatest here. Going down, it's just really, it's very linearly equity is how they change. But, you know, and it's also quite surprising that we're folding like down here where we have half the pot share, right? We got 53% equity. But against this aggression, where I would assume it's because it's just hard to realize our equity, we just fold. Let's see what our global folding range, our global folding. Yeah, I'm folding half the time on this board. All right. I digress. We call, which is low frequency but fine. Now it gets interesting. So MSI, you've turned a gutter and you have top pair.
I check.
Okay,
What
we
what
check
are we
back.
supposed to do here?
Well, I'm not sure, but we'll investigate. I think we might actually get to bet. And my argument that we get to bet is that if we bet and he double check raises, we get to call because we've got outs to the straight. But do we have, we don't have outs to the nut straight.
King
But I
queen
think
might
checking is
bet.
definitely in the strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't get to bet. You get it right. All right, now this is an interesting run out. You've got the S end of the straight, sir. He does have ace queen in
45.
his range.
I bet 45. Lower straights usually bet smaller. Higher
What size would
straights.
you like?
What?
What size would you like to use?
35.
Say it again.
35. 10 blinds. 10 blinds.
Use that.
35%.
We don't have that.
Oh.
35.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
so I don't think you're gonna have that sizing. I don't think it's worth it for you to open up betting for this small sizing. We kind of talk about this every once in a while in this group, and
Yeah. I made that mistake, no, when I was in hand, I was like,
No.
oh, let's go 35, but I don't know when this figure is.
Yeah, so generally, so we know that solver has a robust check raising range, right? Anytime we open up the betting, we have the risk of getting check raised from out of position. The argument is that a small bet, or exploitative small bet in this region isn't worth the risk. The risk reward is not there when he can check raise us and we don't have the nuts. Even though, you know, how many ace queens he has, well, it's not a question.
I mean, you
So,
want to check? Or what?
no,
Or you want
I
to?
don't. I think if you are gonna bet, you're gonna bet a B60 or
And what, higher
B86.
straights bigger?
And say it again.
86? And queen high straights, we bet 86?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't know why. Anyway, yeah, let's go. Let's go.
He's saying if we
I'll
had
type
the,
it.
if we had the queen high straight, do we bet the same?
Oh, if we have the nuts,
Yes.
yeah, I don't think we use this size. I just don't, I think we have the nuts. We just want to be up here. Essentially this size, I mean,
Why? It's not the nuts.
well, ace queen is the nuts. So if we have ace queen, it's just not worth it to use the size because we want to get called from part of his region that can call a B86 or a B60. But anyway, okay. I think we use a B60 or B86 here, but we could try a B35. It's your show. I'm just
No,
talking.
we well bet sets here. I don't get it. We check sets or what? Or we
Well,
bomb?
we'll look.
sets?
I'm not sure. We'll look. Let's do a B60. We do. So we do use the B35. This is one, I am incorrect. This is one of the rare situations where we use a B35.
Yeah, I think because of the lower straight, maybe we have. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So this is, we don't use this very often, and it's because we're opening up the betting and maybe we do it because he just doesn't have ace queen.
I mean, shallower, you always bet lower straights with smaller sizing. And higher straights with bigger sizing.
Okay.
I like,
Yeah.
I've never seen it inverted or something.
So question is, do we value bet straights or value bet sets?
We don't have any. I saw like we have like 5% of tens and pretty much nothing. We have only queens.
And on this board, we do not value bet sets. We check them back. All right, I see. All right, you got top pair and you can improve.
Uh, I mean, we call him. I don't know. Not enough equity. No, this for sure should be enough.
This is a call,
Yeah.
I think. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think it's a call. You got the 10 of spades certainly makes it a call.
Yeah, I mean, you're calling with two back doors here. On top pair. What do you want to do, sir?
Call. Oh, it's Mike or me.
That's you. It's still you. We'll give you
Yeah. Yeah, we call now again.
Look at that. Solver loves to do this. Here, eat some of
perfect.
this when
Yeah.
you block bet. This is not, I don't think this is a value shove. It might be. Let's look at it.
It's not. When nothing worse is calling, then it's not well shove.
So let's look at what he is So it's primarily shoving.
They're trying to get off tens, I think. He blocks 10, king 10.
So when we take this size, all in, raise, all in. And then we go to, let's see where our hand class is. So this is all, we're looking at raise all in, right? Doing with our best hands, obviously. And it says. Oh, 10-8. Here. Here. What's our equity on this hand? Yeah, this is a bluff. We have no equity. So this is gonna fall obviously into. Sure. Yeah. All right. All right, one more.
Yeah, I can type if you want. If it's more convenient.
Oh, no.
I can hear you. You're fine.
Talking is good. Sometimes in chat, we'll just play along while you do it with voice. Like others just kind of put their guesses in chat.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Oh, you're fine.
I just don't know if like if you can hear me. So
I can hear you fine.
Yeah,
I have actually, I went to too many rock shows in my 20s. So sometimes I get tinnitus and I can't hear for a minute, but then it goes away. But I want to tell you, seeing 9 Inch Nails with 250 people in 1991 was really fun. Okay, so you've got, this is the dream spot. You get to end with the dream spot.
yeah, cool.
So yeah, this isn't, I think, important here. I don't think you ever have raises here. You are not ever motivated to raise. Maybe you are because, no, I don't think that is.
No?
You do.
If
You do it
any
somewhat,
hand
but
does,
mostly
it's
call.
this form. Like queen 4 is calling. Like
This is actually the only portion of our range that we are raising. These trips with the best kicker. And I assume this is because there's like 1-4 left. But maybe his check raise region is so much the final 4 that we just, at some times, we just want to get him in low fleek with a better 4.
So I'm just wondering, do we do it more with without a spade and blocking the draws there on the flop?
Let's find out.
Maybe different.
Okay, so the question is, are we raising here more with the spade or without a spade? Here. And the answer is no, we want,
Well, yeah, I was
we
gonna
want
say
to unblock his flush draws.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mike, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I think that if you had the ace of spade, you'd want to call more, and that's what it shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
So essentially our raises here, I think we're raising more. Because there's more they can call our raise, right? Because we want to call when he's 30% to get there with his flush draw. So we like these.
Yep.
We like,
And when we have the ace of spades, it does block their continue range with their flush draws.
yeah, and our equity is going to be 90. I think it's going to be plus 90 on this board with these combos. Wow, 86. All right. So. That's a really horrible card.
It's like really one of the worst.
Yeah, it's one of the worst. And he checks it.
we check.
Yeah. Look, we like to put in an occasional blocker sizing here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the worst run out in the world.
Okay,
What would you like to do, sir?
Uh, So the question is, do we go 10% or 45? So I don't know which sizing. 10 is probably too small. 45 is so. Let's go 45.
nice.
We're finding these small bets, man. You know what? Also, this might be, we have small bets maybe because of SPR. Like a check raise isn't as lethal. Cause what's our SPR here? Like our SPR.
It's still very big.
Almost 2 to 1, right? Pretty much. I mean,
Alright, one more, MSM.
Yeah.
2. Almost.
Alright, last one. You got top pair. You got
Mhm.
two back doors. You got check raise.
Let's call. Ooh,
Yeah, I know. Interesting spot.
call.
We do, I was wondering if we got raises on this. We do get a little
Mhm.
bit. But yeah, we mostly call. You got it perfect. Oh, that's a horrible card.
Oh yeah. Yeah, fold. I fold.
Now, my
Blue
question is, do we ever have any heroes here? And I think the answer is no. I think you're right, it's a fold. What do you guys
Yeah.
think? Anybody think we ever hero this combo?
No, I don't think so with this combo. I think if we had the queen 10 of clubs or diamonds, there might be heroes.
Yeah, I see your point. Yeah, pure fold.
Is 9-6 folding? On the river.
Let's look. So
Or
the
maybe
question is,
on the
does,
jumps maybe turn. Nah,
so we
probably.
want to know, what is our calling threshold? What is our calling threshold here to this triple barrel?
26 maybe.
So we get the triple barrel. Where's our calling?
Can we call with the 2?
So our calling threshold is right around top pair here.
Yeah, but we have
And then
very-
we get into some esoteric blocker stuff. This is two pair, right? This is two pair. And then we get some, but essentially, we're always calling a set, right? We're not folding the size with the set. There's no straights available. And our flush raising threshold is the jack here. Yeah, kind of like this in between. It's an all-in sizing, but really our calling threshold,
Oh, the pair is folding? What the pair is folding?
two pair must fold because he must. I mean,
No.
maybe we want to block the front door flush. It's not it. We bluff shove
No
ace
queens.
spades. That is not, our equity there is 31. Yeah, it's a bluff shove. Yeah, we're folding two pair. All right. So let's make this the last go around with someone, and then we'll switch to marked hands because I'm running out of steam talking. Hard to believe, but it's possible.
Sounds good. Who went after MSI? Was it me?
I think so.
All right, I'll take 3. Fold.
Yeah, it's pretty up. Nice bluff, sir. I had more equity than that. What? It's winning. All right, interesting one.
Yeah, this one is a little strange. Like, do we ever continue? No. No, I think we fold. Well, I don't know. Gosh, having this one's hard. I'm sorry.
Take your time.
I mean, I guess maybe we have to call. But we
I think
just
we call. I think we're too far up.
Yeah.
I mean, we're drawing to the paired board sucks, but we're drawing to the second nuts.
Yeah. Let's make it a call.
Yeah,
Let's just. The question I would have here is on this parent board where we get this very aggressive check raise size. Question I have is where is our flush? Uh-oh. Where is our flush draw calling threshold? Like, how good does our flush draw have to be to call on this parent ace board? So here we are filters,
somewhere around 7.
flush draw nuts we're always calling, right? But then that's not really the question. The question is here. So we are going a lot farther down than I thought. But we are comfortable calling our flush draws. These have nothing else but a flush draw, obviously, on this texture.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
we're just,
I was thinking 9s and below would fold, whereas 10s and above still have flush draw and backdoor straight potential.
what about
Yeah.
8s? What about the 8s? Is that indifferent? The 8 high extra.
yeah, anytime we're mixing like this, we're gonna be indifferent. Like if we look at EV,
Okay. So,
yeah, we're pretty close to indifferent. Here we are really different. This is where it gets. We're percent, yeah. Yeah, we're indifferent beginning with the eights. Okay. This goes lower than I thought. Alright, we call.
Kind of sucking us in. Let's call.
yes.
This is AI milk. AI milking us. Look at
More
that. That's
folding than
interesting.
I thought.
Why? Now this to me is shocking, frankly. Why would we call that check raise? And now this, when we're getting 19, right? And 19 is right. I mean, so we're 18% to get the flush. Why are we folding to this with our implied odds? I guess we don't have the implied odds here because of the paired board. And this card is high up enough that his ace 9 is in. So we are potentially drawing dead. That's the only
Yeah.
reason I can think of.
I like that. I think it's just, essentially because of the bet call. And then, bet again on a paired board.
Yeah, you might be right. We miss, he bets. What would you like to do, Mike?
I'm tempted to shove, but I'm not going to. So fold.
Let's see if we have any bluff shoves. Cause he down bet here.
I don't think we shove any of our front doors.
So let's look at the all in, let's look at breakdown, and let's look, so. So where are our bluffs coming from? Let's do it this way. Trash hands, shove. So these are our bluffs. Wow. So it thinks it's calling trips here, trash hands. And it is choosing to shove trips. These bottom trips are what kind of equity do we have? Yeah, it's 31% equity. Puts it in trash. So I guess it's just blocking his better trips. And that's why we're getting these bluff shoves. It's classifying these as bluff shoves.
What's the Jack 8 and Jack 9 suits?
Jack 8.
So it is the
Jack
front. So that it is the front door that's doing it.
It does have some front door. bluffs here. Yeah. Interesting. All right, on to the next. Nice hand, sir.
Um, let me think about his range here. So I mean, we still have. I think this is a call.
Yeah, you got a, so we got a gutter. We got a back door, not a gutter. We got a back door. We have a pair, we have an over. I think you're right. What do you guys think?
I think it'll mix, but
Not really sure. I think we need a spade.
You might be right. That's a very good point. So we're mixing.
Different.
We, these indifferent spots are always, whenever we hear the group being like, I don't know, well, neither does the solver. So we're in the right place. We're in an indifferent combo.
I
And
think.
yeah, exactly. So he,
All right. So in position now. I like a. I mean, do we ever need to protect our top range here?
that's a good
And
question.
and I don't think so. I think we can be 50 to 75. Yeah.
I think the part of the range that we're going to protect is if we had, I don't, no, we don't defend 10-5 suited. But I would imagine the part of the range that we protect more here would be the,
Yeah, I'm going B 75.
yeah, B75.
Yeah.
I would think the part we check back is if we don't have any boats on this layer, we don't defend 10-5. But if we had boats, that's the part we trap check.
We have deuces, we have tens.
Yeah, that's a good point. We have deuces and tens. I think that's the part we trap check. All right, next one.
All right. Did you want to call it? That was 3 hands.
Dude, let's make it a fiver.
Okay. This one, I think this one might just straight fold or mix call and fold. I don't like our specific combo. I'm gonna probably fold here, and it probably likes either.
Yeah. I think this is a fold.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
perfect.
play this one. All right, well, and master for fold, sir. Last one, and I'm glad you guys. I think everybody got involved in this one. I think this was a really good training mechanism, training session. We'll repeat this kind of thing again.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody enjoyed them and everybody learned something from them. I know I learned something. Other than the fact that I can talk a lot, but I think I already knew that.
I'm going to call here, and I wonder if this is one of the rare combos that actually has some raising to it, but I'm going to call.
Okay. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Well played, sir. Now,
check,
as Scotty
check.
likes to say, this goes into the kind of hands where we didn't quite lose enough money on flop. We need to lose a little bit more.
And now it becomes a fold.
Yeah, straight come in, everything come in.
And what did he bluff us with? He bluffed us with
the best hand. He was valuable.
Yeah. So, all right. I'm glad we went through that. I am going to, does anybody have, well, let's take a break. It's been 2 hours. You guys want to take a break?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna take some time, guys. I'm gonna take 5 minutes. Let's reconvene in like 5 minutes.
Reconvene in 5 minutes, and if you have hands that you want to share and discuss, have them ready.
Yeah, anybody in chat is more than welcome to. I've got some hands ready. We'll go from there. Talk to you in 5, guys.
Start with that. Oh.
Hey, guys.
Howdy.
All right. Marked hands. Who wants it?
Well, Larry, I'll step up. I've got millions of them, so I'll go first. And then,
Okay. I got some too.
yeah. Let's do this. Share. Okay, you see it?
Yeah. I'll answer and I do, let me just answer. Chris, one of the best ways to know your rake, I think, is to go to Prime Dope. So if you go to primedope.com, there is a rake tool there that you can use to compare rake. Sorry to interrupt you, Mike. My apologies, sir. Okay.
Okay, so here's the first hand. This one, I just pulled up some hands. I'm not sure. This one I remember, and I'm curious what everyone thinks of how I played this. This is kind of unusual, but we have a limper, or excuse me, he's a poster. He's a poster. So checks. We're gonna ISO ace-9 suited. We get a little min raise from a broken stack who has absolutely been 51 hands. He's 76-0. 76-0.
So we got a live one, guys.
Yeah. And it comes back around to us. I don't think there's anything to do with but call here, right? We don't want to just jam over that sort of player, do we?
Yeah, I think I would call. I mean, there's this argument around, yeah, so I think calling's better. I mean, sometimes it's a trap. He knows he's putting in a stupid size. I think your call's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, who knows what he's thinking, you know, and what his
Yeah.
range is going to be. So I just didn't know if maybe ace-9 is actually good enough versus somebody who's a 76, but he hasn't raised yet. So that's the other thing. He has not even raised. So
Oh my God.
yeah.
These are consummate fish, guys.
And ace-9 is also not the greatest to play out of position in a short stack situation, I don't think. So
I agree, but your odds are, he's giving you such good odds. You just call and see the flop. Quite a flop.
I mean, we love that flop, don't we?
Other than like ace-9-9, yeah, it's a pretty good flop. Too bad he's
2-1.
not deeper.
It's just a little less than 2-to-1 stack to pot ratio. Here's what I was wondering if everyone hates.
I don't know. That's so. So what happens when you put them all in? Well, you know you've got, I think it's like 45% equity against everything in his range, even the top of his range.
Yeah, like basically, I think we're almost even maybe not a favorite against everything but aces.
Like I know an open ender and flush draw is 55, so like maybe we're way more 50. Maybe you're right.
Just to recap what happened pre-flop, it went like this. I think MSI was asking.
Mm-hmm.
There was a poster here. We ISO'd. He min 3-bet, and then it got back around to us. We called, got that flop, and then again, like I said, here's this player 76-0 over 51 hands, a clear recreational, whatever, fun player, whatever. That's why I didn't know if everyone hates this or if it's just sort of like, yeah, okay, take your equity and get to the river with it.
Yeah,
I
so
think that's good what you did.
so you're 45%. I just checked it. You're 45% against these aces.
Oh, even against aces, it's 45.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure, but like because you're blocking some of these out, so maybe it's different.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're like in the mid 40s, and then open ender or flush draws 55.
And you're talking about against aces specifically, or is it like a whole range?
Oh, not against the whole range, just like you're 45% to either get the flush or get the straight.
Oh, okay, then, all right, gotcha.
Um, I don't know, man. So my only question would be, so my only question would be, do you have, is this hand too good for this play? Well, let me ask you this. Would you make this choice if you did have an OESD and the flush draw?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would.
Okay. All right.
But gets there.
Nice. Well, you know what? Let's be results oriented. It's a good play because you may not have gotten it all if the ace came on the turn, if you check called.
Yeah, okay.
It's an interesting spot. I mean, so so why is this for you preferable relative to a check shove or a check call?
I don't know that it's preferable. I think I just took it in game versus a very wide range.
Oh, okay. So there's an indicator. You're like, he's got a super wide range. He is, a fish. I just think, I frankly think that I frankly think you're making the game easy. You're making the game easy for him because he now clearly has value or he clearly has a fold, right?
I mean, if he's got ace, king, ace, queen, ace, jack, these lower pairs, these are all hands that you think he's just going to call all the time.
I think he folds. I think that a large portion of his range, you've now made an easy fold, right?
Yeah.
So like I don't know, king, jack of spades, easy fold.
Yeah.
But I think you're also doing this because you want to see two cards, right?
Yep.
I think a better choice is a check shove, frankly.
Check raise. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think check shove. I think if you want to check shove is fine. Because you want to see all the cards. So I think a check shove is better
Okay.
because you've now eliminated his opportunity to bluff with air, right?
Yep.
Let's think about what we do with his king jack of spades here. Maybe the question is, if he's got king jack of spades, at what frequency does he bet after you check?
Yeah, I'm with you. I have a good point.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that my argument would be that you are just eliminating you're taking away his ability to bluff here. When he has a part of his range that's gonna bluff, because he just said, I got a great hand. Well, he just said, I like my hand a lot. Because I used really dumb 3-bet size.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Like it.
All right, now, does anybody else have a hand? Okay, now hopefully I have a hand that you can skew a little bit since I see which hand. There's a hand on here that's really bad. This is interesting. But I'm gonna come back to it, so I spoiled it. But this one is not as good. What's this one? Yeah, I think I skewed this one. I don't remember exactly what happened. So limp. Oh, okay, so would you ever, anybody in the group ever do anything but just check here?
Not with that hand. I know I would just check behind.
Yeah. Nice flop. Oh, I did. Yeah, you're definitely gonna be able to skewer me on this. Okay, so very interesting hand. Look at our. So I can't even calculate our SPR here. It's so small, so big. Like my brain can't do division that quickly. 4 times 10 is 40. SPR 40. We have an SPR 40 and we've got the nuts.
Yeah, versus the limper. Or was
Yeah, versus a limper.
was it a post or a limp?
It was a limper. Do we ever lead? Do we ever donk? Our
Yeah,
SPR
that's
is
what I was thinking.
40.
I think you're better off check raising.
Yeah, check raise is really the way to get money.
We are cut off?
Sorry?
I don't think.
So yeah, so this is a bug in the replayer for global poker. So global poker is kind of an awkward site to play on. It's web only. But it's very soft, so I play on it. And so the bug here, MSI, is that it's not correctly showing where the button is. So
Oh, so we're big blind kill him. Okay, I see.
yeah, it's replayer scuffed.
I just didn't see pre-flop. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm the big blind, small blind. Player 1793 is the real button. And our limper isn't cut off. So I think a check raise is the best option. I played this hand very poorly, I think. Check. Okay, so
Chris brings up a good point, and we've talked about this on this call like many times, right? Where limpers and did we just see it? Did you advance it? He bet pot?
yeah, he did
Yeah.
pot.
So yeah, isn't this is very common. And we've seen it and talked about it on our sessions like many times. We see this all the time. We see the limper, it gets around to the big blind, everybody checks, and the limper bets pot like at just a ridiculous frequency. And I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but it just happens.
Yeah,
right?
They love this sizing. Limpers love the sizing.
The strangest thing.
So this is where it gets interesting, right? Because in theory, the closer they get to a pot bet, we're supposed to check our call with the top of range at some frequency, but that's thrown out the window. So I made a mistake here because I think that a check raise is better. There's always this tension when we have top of range. To me, there's always this strategic tension between keeping in fill-in when you've got 95% or 98% equity and check raising here so that we can get it all in by river, reducing the SPR. I have a slow play problem, and I think I slow play here. Yeah, and I get a shitty card. But I think a check raise is better. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I like a check raise just because your investment ceiling is so high and your urgency is high because you're out of position.
Yeah, I think you're right. I have to get over, I think, him folding. He's just gonna fold sometimes, so what? I need to get over that. I think so. The investment ceiling term, I'm not totally clear about what that means. What does investment ceiling mean?
I think how much do you want to get in here? How much money do you want to get into the pot? That's your investment ceiling. Like if you have ace 3 of diamonds here, your investment ceiling is probably not very high.
I think Kara Corner uses that term sometimes, right?
Yeah, no, that's where I hear it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean our investment ceiling is pot here. Yeah, I get it. That makes sense. The other question I have is what size would you use?
What's a pot size? What's pot size? Is it 14 or so?
Pot right now is 5.
Right, you call, it becomes 750, and your pot size raise would be, would make it 14, right? Or do we make it 7?
Yeah, like I would make this, I think, 10 big, I think so. 10 big blinds. Well, you're thinking about it right. You're thinking about it in relation to pot. So pot is at 5 big blinds now. I kind of like a 2x pot. I think a 2x pot's good.
Yeah,
I think I should have gone 10 big blinds here. I played this horribly. So now he's continuing to pot. And this is this is an error to call it. I need to check raise now. And I don't. And he pots it and I just call. Let me see. So Jack 8 gets there. So what? I don't
you're
care.
you're still beating a ton of value.
I lost so much value in this hand. Flush is there. He's claiming he's got a flush or bad. He's claiming he's got a flush.
I
So
mean,
what?
you're talking about somebody who's limped into the pot here. I mean, you're putting kind of words into, or you're mind melding with this guy who could easily have aces or kings or a trip nines or set of fours. You know, there's so much value that you're beating.
Yeah, you just bingoed it, by the way.
What's that?
You just bingoed his hand.
Yeah.
You just called out his hand. So yeah. The question is pot size here. What size would you use to check raise here?
Oh, no, I would just call, but I wouldn't raise.
You wouldn't raise here
I would not raise. No,
No.
because we're losing too much.
I don't think our hand has been downgraded. So I don't
Yeah.
think raise.
Okay, then I played the river right. He
We
has
cannot raise turn as well. We have to go smooth call. Turn as well.
Yeah. So I think I lost value here. I think my mistake here is not understanding the urgency to check raise here at this SPR. At a lower SPR, I think we have less urgency because there's more opportunity on later streets for it to get in. I think I am greatly benefited here by check raising. First thing, just do it. Just check raise here. And your hand is downgraded and so call. Okay. All right, Chris, thanks for joining. I'm going to stop sharing. Anybody else?
Anybody else have any hands?
No.
All right, I can get you another one.
All right.
Skate, do you have any?
Nope.
Okay. All right, here's hand number 2. Okay, small blind, raise, call.
Blind versus blind.
Yep, king high flop, pretty good for us. Although we're out of position, we can often check here probably, but I think I think this might even have been the same villain. I'm not sure. I didn't really pick these out for that reason,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, so I kind of like a bet here. I don't think a king high. I mean, if you look at this in solver, it's just gonna mix everything. Blind versus blind.
mhm.
If you look at it like in the breakdown, pretty much all combos are gonna mix.
I went with the third.
Yeah, it's fine, I think.
Open-ended, queen high flush draw. Any
Continue the
thoughts?
lie.
Continue the lie. Any thoughts of the check raise now, or do we just take his wide range that he would have and attack it?
I like polarized sizing. I like I mean, we now have, I think we might be in overbet territory. It might be interesting to put this in solver. I think we get overbets here.
Okay. I think I went small with the flush completer. I decided on a small bet.
Okay. Well, that sounds theoretically correct. Okay, so what are our pot odds? Okay, 33%. This is the passive guy?
Well, it could be. I didn't look to see if this is the same guy, but based on these numbers, it looks like it could be him.
Okay, so obviously, I don't think we can fold, but we're really nervous now. Because a passive player just, what is this? A 6x? It's like a 6x raised us.
Mm-hmm.
So he raised like 2x pot, we'll say. I don't think we get to fold. I think we just call.
Yeah, I think so.
And also this might be like reacting to your sizing. But he's passive, so I think this is skewed towards value. Ooh,
Like we just basically we're just looking to hit, right? And we don't donk here
Yeah.
or anything.
yeah, I don't think so. I mean, the repeat 3 is intriguing, but I mean, I think I mean, using a blocker bluff is an interesting choice. Should we solve this? What do you think? I think it's an interesting hand.
MSI asks, is there no small bets on the turn? I thought there was. I thought there would be small bets. And that's
Yeah, I think
the
you're going with the
bet that I
concept
chose
that
was the small size.
with not completing turn, the flush completing turn, that we are gonna have down bets, right?
So our queen 10 off here is a natural raise. Let me get something back here. All right, and he got a call. And what was our flop? It was king 3 and the 4 of spades. So my prediction is that it's going to be relatively high check, like maybe 50-50. Maybe
Yeah,
even
I think
more.
it just checks across everything.
Yeah, actually a lot more.
Yeah, it checks more than I thought.
Our hand with the queen of hearts, I thought would be a hand that we would continue though, so that was good.
So our combo, remind us of our combo. Our combo is queen.
Yeah, queen of hearts, 10 of diamonds.
Okay. Queen heart 10 times. So yeah, we're betting at some frequency here.
Yeah, and small bet, and they did call.
So the question I have here before you put in our turn,
Uh-huh.
let's talk about what we think starting. I think we polarize on this and on this turn with this combo. What do you think?
I'm still going small. I think
Okay.
I think global. I don't think there's going to be very many big bets.
Okay. Okay.
That's my guess. You and MSI think there's going to be big bets here.
Yeah.
What was it? It was a jack of hearts, right?
Yeah. And also I think there's just a shit ton of bluffing blind versus blind. So you're right. Yeah, we mostly small bet.
The big bets do come from our hand though. Like our specific hand has 75 B75s there.
Okay, then we're both right. Like you were right about range and we're right about the combo.
So yeah, so ours was hearts diamonds, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing everything here. Generally I take an aggro line. I think the one thing to think about here is that there is sometimes when a human is going to react to your sizing. This guy, I mean, his stats don't look like he's that kind of player. So
Yeah.
Okay, so you get everything with this combo, right?
Yep. Yeah, with the combo, you can do anything.
So your
Yep.
play is fine.
What I am curious about is if we can check raise with our open ender and second nut.
That's an excellent question. Let's find out.
So I'm going to check that here. So let's assume we check, and let's say he bets like whatever the most common bet size is, which is going to be big, 75. So that might actually take away our check raises. If he bets 75, our queen 10, yeah, just wants to, well, no, there's some raising, the combo that we have.
Definitely raising. What about if he uses like a kind of non-committal B50? Yeah, this is kind of a special combo.
Yeah.
Well, it is because it's a combo draw. So
Yep. So that's
Yeah.
that's good to see. So let's go back to the action. We bet small. He like went.
now is he going to
Yeah.
have his size raising? He does at a very small frequency have this size.
This
Never with
100
his combo. I mean, he's making a mistake, right? He's making a polarization error. To use carrot corner criminal.
Mhm.
But maybe this is a good play against humans, right? Because he bought himself a free showdown.
And our combo likes to actually re-raise, likes to 3-bet. And
That is nutty. That we want to click it back here. This is an interesting hand. Anybody finding this play? Write it in chat if
So,
you want.
I think-
I'm gonna write it in chat.
in game, I think I was considering it just because I thought we were so like had so much equity and like a lot of fold equity. But based on his just super huge size, I was like, no, I'm not going to do it.
It's interesting that in this particular case, this play would work against his particular combo.
Sure, yeah, if we were results oriented, yeah.
Yeah, I'm being naughty and being results oriented. But okay, I'm gonna make this argument. That his play is very low frequency with humans, right? He is making a semi bluff imposition raise. And that I think generally with humans, until you get up to NL 500, is going to be values. And in solver, the imposition 20 big blind raise is going to have some component of bluffs that humans don't have. So I think I prefer your call.
Yeah, right, because you're right. Humans, especially humans that maybe have this sort of stat to go along with their 18 hands, they've been limping and just, not being aggressive. And then all of a sudden they pour on a huge raise and what I would think would be kind of under bluffed.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would argue that this is also why we need to protect our small bet range too. Have some nutted hands in the small bet range on time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think if I had gotten here with Queen 10 of hearts, I think I'm betting small.
Yeah. And then you can, yeah. That's a whole other part of the trick. So, yeah, so your call is, do we ever fold this combo? We don't ever fold it, do we?
Yeah, it had a sliver of folds, or not a little more than a sliver, like a little, maybe 10%. What is it? 3%?
So, would you mind turning on EV for a second? So what's this combo look like? So we are really close to indifferent.
I mean, 0.33, that seems fairly significant,
Okay, yeah, I think you're right.
right? That's 33 big blinds per 100.
They add up, right?
Huh?
A 0.33 adds up.
Yeah. That's why why is there even any folds in here?
Yeah. You know what? I think it is, frankly. I think we're looking at solver noise. Because his raise is very low frequency. It's like 1%.
Yeah.
So this may not be so down to quite the level that other parts of the more common tree, the parts are,
Yeah.
or common parts of the trio. So,
I mean, yeah, you're right. He just should not be doing this.
yeah,
With
this is super rare. So yeah, I think your call is good. Now, the question we had, which I think is interesting, is on the repeat 3, which is gonna bring in some, we do definitely have boats now. Do we have any bluff donks? We do
Yeah,
have
this
bluff
game
donks.
does.
And we have it from your combo. Your combo essentially has no equity. So this is it. So this, yeah, this is it. Blind versus blind is the Wild West. Man.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it uses like even the 10% donk.
Yeah. But this, it never checks, does it?
Nope. Okay.
And it must be targeting just exact. So let's do this. Let's see if you use, let's say you use this unusual bet 5 sizing. What are we targeting for him to fold? So if we use this donk and then he. Oh, you've got it. You might want to turn off though. We want to turn off the oh, you're filtering for folds. Okay. So he does fold 23% range. So it certainly is profitable. If he's folding 23% of range to a B10, it's a profitable small bet bluff. I am reading that right. He does fold 22% of the time with sizing.
Yep. Yep. Yes, you are.
This is a fascinating hand. Mike, you're getting hand of the day award. I won't be able to top this.
Yeah, okay.
That's an interesting hand.
All right, you're next.
All right, so I've got one here, I think, which is let me find it first. Question. Okay, so this is, let me share first, share screen. So this is against a maniac. So this is a blind versus blind. This is against 3909. This guy's been nuts. He's been going a little crazy on his broken stack. He was 3-bet shoving. He was, I don't think he opened. He was using really large RFI sizings, like 5 big blinds. And so I used a very large sizing when I noted up on river, and I think my argument that I'm making here is that there's a certain player class that this is a good play. So this is fine. I don't really have a limp range in small blind. So I kind of luck boxes. I kind of like betting king high flops. I mean, that's the way I guess I simplify it in my head. I think I bet this. Yeah. I'll choose a big sizing. Also, I know he's got high dip up, so he's got a lot of trash. He's got like a shit ton of hands. He calls. We turn additional equity. Gutter. And I think we also get to be aggressive on double touch board to some frequency. But I choose to check. check back, and then this is where I think we get the nut up. We hit the nuts. Now he's got a capped range, right? He didn't bet on turn. He didn't raise river. He didn't raise flop. But player class, he's a gambling maniac. He is adrenaline seeker. He is a target. He is a mark. I just shoved on him. Oh,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So the argument I'm making is that there is a player class that this is going to work against. Now, maybe the question for the group is, what is that player class? And I think, my description for him is the kind of player where this works, where it's like, you've seen him do crazy shit. You've seen him 3-bet shove. You've seen him playing a broken step. You've seen him 5x RFI. He's here to gamble. He's here to play a big game.
So Larry, I'm going to put the argument you gave to me in the first hand over to you.
Mhm.
He's a player, like you just described, somebody that you think is going to kind of go nuts on his own. Why did you shove and not let him
Go crazy?
bluff all of his crap?
Yeah, good question. It's feeling greedy.
Yeah, right.
Um,
Which is
yeah.
good. I mean, you got max value.
Yeah, I think the answer is, I think it's a good question. I think the answer is that I just felt his player class was like not like intelligently aggressive, but more like gambling, right? So he should have bluffs here at some frequency. A lot of the stuff that he would play is like, yes, but I just felt like he was like a gambling dude. Like he wanted to, it was like adrenaline into his game, and was just like ready to get it in. I guess the real answer is that I'd already seen him ready to put a stack. Right. He'd already put his stack in through that shove. And he had already, yeah, he was ready to gamble for his stacks. Does that
Well, you
answer your
made
question?
Yeah, well, you made the right read. Although, like I said, I think like in my hand, the better option is to let him go first, as opposed to let him fold out all the junk that he was gonna smash you with anyway.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So I mean, the big argument, I guess, is with your hand is that he was the aggressor, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. That is a difference in the hand.
Yeah, yeah, he's the aggressor. He's like that 3-bet, even though it's dumb, yeah, we want to let him continue to aggress. If that's a word, I don't think it is. We want to continue to allow him to be aggressive with his entire range, which includes bluffs.
Yep. No, that's a very good difference. Yeah. Did
All
he
right, that's
call you with like ace high or something? What did he?
well, we don't know in global. For some people, really bad players will show. But this guy's got but losing hands turned on. So I'm going to stop sharing. If you got more.
And we want to give the opportunity to anybody else here that has a hand they want to share. To jump in chat, let us know here. I'll bring up another one if
So
we
Jeffy, you have a very good point. Yeah, player class between I can bluff you. Some people just don't want to get bluffed. Yeah, that's a very good way to describe it. And yeah, I guess it's just you and me with hands today. So anybody's more, you guys can bring hands in the future if you want. If you want to sit back and watch our mistakes and our victories, that's fine too.
Unfortunately, I fall into the I won't be bluffed class of player.
I do too. I very much can be a station.
All right, here's the next one. Let's see what we got going on here. Low jack, open. Hasn't played anything yet. Broken stack down here.
Yeah.
It's usually a pure 3-bet for me, so didn't know if anybody else has any.
Yeah, I like 3-bet. He's what, low jack?
The original opener is low jack.
Yeah, I think this is like a really cuspy 3-bet bluff hand.
So we're going 3 ways.
All
Thanks
right.
to the
This is not
overcall.
what we want with this hand, but now hold on to your seats. Tough position, man.
Yeah, so I mean 11 hands, so not really much to go off of, right?
Yeah.
But at this point now we've got top pair and decent kicker on a board that's relatively good. So I think I'm just always going to c-bet here. In position, never going to bet big.
Yeah.
So we get a call from the original raiser.
So I think I described this as a brick.
Me too. So since it's a brick, we get to polarize.
Yeah.
And I go 75. We get a call.
Cool. All good. Oh, is he gonna donk it? Yes, he is. Oh, that's a good blocker you have, man. Good blocker.
King of diamonds.
So let's go through the list. Are you ever beating value or is this a pure bluff catcher?
Pure bluff catcher.
Agreed, pure bluff catcher. Is this an over or under bluffed line?
Population, under bluffed.
Agreed, this is under bluff.
Versus somebody you know to be a pretty good, decent player, I would not say that it's necessarily under bluffed, but I think it could get over bluffed.
Yeah, I think most good players aren't gonna make this line.
Good.
Maybe some exploitative times.
You think this is an exploitative type of bluff as opposed to somebody that's sitting here with ace of diamonds 10, or I guess they wouldn't really have that. Ace of diamonds queen probably shouldn't have that. Yeah, I guess the naked ace of spades doesn't make sense, right?
Well, against humans, I think it does. I think population is going to, I think population overcalls 3-bets. I think he has ace queen off, ace queen, ace of diamonds off. I think sometimes he has ace jack, ace of diamonds off.
Mm-hmm. Maybe, but not after the. Do they still have it after the turn?
With only with the intent to do this. If it's a diamond turn.
Yeah.
So
to answer your question, yeah, I think I would probably just say under bluffed.
okay, so if it's, I think you're right. I think that the under bluffed nature of this trumps our king diamond
Yeah.
blocker. You know what I would do here, frankly? I would roll. This is how I temper my station habits. I roll. So, and I use an inverse of what the pot odds are. So you're being offered 27%, right?
Yeah.
So I would invert that and say, I'm gonna fold 75% of the time here, and I would roll.
Okay, I like that. That's kind of a neat system. Good call.
And that's how I Now, a lot of people think, so Peter hates that. Peter Clark hates that. He is anti-RNG at this point in his poker theory, the poker teaching. He said, no, use your intuition. You think poker, if you're thinking a thinking poker player, use your intuition. But that is how I sometimes will temper my stationy tendencies. But this block is really sexy. I think, dude, yeah, I think we just fold. I think it's under bluff line.
Mhm.
But we are gonna get bluffed at some point. He's gonna have the naked ace of diamonds at some point.
But not enough, right? That just should be a fold.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. I stationed. I became the I won't be bluffed. I won't be bluffed player.
Yeah,
I stationed and he had queen jack of diamonds.
so, yeah, under bluffed. So, yeah,
I
it's a
almost
tough spot to fold though, isn't it?
Yeah, I also wonder if, and I looked at this in Solver, I think, when it happened back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's pure fold, like this is just not a call at all, like in Solver.
Mhm.
But I didn't see what was, like, I don't know if I had ace queen here, if that's a fold.
Ace queen with the ace of diamonds.
Yeah.
I think it's closer, but I think the under bluff nature of the line. Yeah, go ahead and run it.
You want to look?
Yeah, sure. I think the under bluff nature of the line trumps our blocker.
Yeah. Oh, we can't run it. It's multi-way on the flop. But I think when I ran it as heads up in position. Like I was trying to think of what would be a good, I don't remember what I used.
Mhm.
Maybe I did, it wasn't button small, it had to be like something over here, like maybe low jack button. I think that's what it was. If it was just low jack button, we three bet and just ignoring the other call.
Yeah, we can run it like that, I think. Because it was maybe not if it was heads up after the flop, but it
Yeah,
went heads up on the flop, so.
no, it was three-way on the flop. So
Oh, I'm sorry, after you bet on the flop. The out of position player folded on the flop, right?
that's correct. Yeah. And we had spade, club, diamond, queen, 10, 5. He checked. We went, well, again, so pot to stack ratios and everything's are all going to be screwed up.
Yeah, it's true.
We went small at that point. I think
Well,
if,
it's just important to see in theory that we're betting a lot on this texture.
yeah, and
Pretty dry.
if I make it 50 here, does that screw us up? Because it helps to get the pot up.
I think that's fine, especially because that's a big part of it. Yeah, sure.
And I also think I probably may have gone that size had it been heads up. Who knows? They call. And we get the 4 diamonds. They
You
check.
polarized here, right?
We did.
Let's see if we're supposed to.
Which is not with our what did we have? We had king, queen,
Queen
off.
off.
Not
King
with,
queen off blocking the FD.
yeah, king of diamond.
You had the king of diamond, right?
So we're not supposed to polarize to 75 with this combo, but there's a pretty good polarization range here. There's a lot.
Well,
Lot
this is gonna take our combo out of the game.
Yeah, will, won't it? King of diamond. Yeah,
Well, we
there's
can pretend we have king of spades, queen of diamonds.
king of spades, king of diamonds.
King of spades, queen of diamonds has some big bets, right?
It does, but then
We don't have the king blocker.
we have the king blocker. So let's just go half. Let's just
Okay.
stick with it, and then we'll see if anything feels funny. They called with the queen jack of diamonds, which they should. Now they're not going to have this combo.
Oh, they shove it in your face.
Yeah.
All right, broken solve.
So if that combo's gone, then it might make calling okay.
So he does have he has shoves.
And it's a pot size there. Let's
He
say
does
they
have donks.
60.
Well, he shoved, right?
He did, but he shoved for half pot, basically.
Okay. All right. I see your point.
And then the queen of diamonds calls, but the king of diamonds folds.
Interesting. Okay, I can't explain that.
And then if this changes anything to their shove, which is a pot size shove, then everything's indifferent. Now the king of diamonds like has some indifferent calling.
Yeah, it's
That's
interesting.
weird.
So you're not blundering here. You're making a call. You're making a hero call,
And who
which
knows
is acceptable.
if this configuration, when it went three ways, if that changes a lot of it.
Yeah, I think the way to think about it, yeah, it does probably a little bit. I think the way to think about this is okay. Do we have a pure bluff catcher? Open value, pure bluff catcher. Under or over bluffed, under bluffed. So I think that trumps everything.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard for me in that situation because the term that Parrot uses is fortune reversal,
Yeah.
and that is a pure fortune reversal spot. All right, let me see what I got here. Oh, this is an interesting hand. Talk about fortune reversal. Here we go. You got time for one more?
Mm-hmm.
This is fortune reversal. All right, so 5x, WTF, flat, WTF. What are you doing with this hand?
Oh, I don't know. I would be three betting it. I don't know if you no, I mean I would be probably calling to the single raise, but now I wonder if we get to squeeze.
Yeah, anybody else in chat? Let me look at chat real quick. Pull it up. Okay, I think calling is reasonable.
Yeah.
Um. You two double three bet fold, not really, I think in cash, MSI, attorney, but this would be a three bet fold in cash. But you're saying it's too good. Yeah, I think this is a better squeeze. I don't want to play this hand out of position multi-way. So my thinking is here, this is a custom hand, right? We're always gonna squeeze ace king off. We don't have charts for this because this is a ridiculous sizing. If we were to look at charts, why don't we just do it real quick? Wow, is this one gonna make this one? Let's just look at this real quick if it was a normal size. Strategy, raise, call. Yeah. If this is a normal sizing, we're gonna squeeze. And so,
Go to pre-flop only, use a 3x.
okay. 100, stacks 100, and I'll put the 3x. And all. Raise, call. Yeah.
Makes it even more of a squeeze.
Yeah, so. Yeah, so you're right, Jeff. I mean, buttons range is capped. And so I think we're motivated to squeeze.
Yep.
The only question is what kind of crazy sizing? What sizing would you use?
I'd go 20.
Yeah, that's what I did. I went 20, we get the fold. Now this is where it gets interesting. This capped range decides to come along. So this capped range to me is a very gambling middle pair. and some suited connectors. But he doesn't really. And he's got some traps. Like, if you look in the solver, you can look. Yeah. If you can solver what his calling range should be. If this was normal sizes. He's got some queens he shoves, I think. He's got a mix of queens, and then he's mixing along this whole region. But that's against the 14. He's having to invest a lot more here, so. This is his calling range, which is essentially, yeah, it's 25% with that money. So he chooses to call. We get a pretty good flop. What would you do here?
Quarter.
Yeah, quarter. So we're now getting into weird SPR land, right? Which there's no reason to solve this beyond here because this SPR is crazy. We're at a 1.25 SPR. So generally, I think, yeah, we've got small. So I went a third. I went a little bit bigger than what you would do.
Yeah.
I think I like your B25 more, frankly. I think this is a little bit too medium scared money. I think I can go smaller. I think your size would be better,
Yeah. I mean, third's good too. 'Cause
like an 11 or a 10. I think that's a better size than that. You get a call. This is a pretty shitty river. A turn, rather.
Yeah.
He does, I mean, if he, a lot of his calling range gets here. What are you doing here?
Shoving.
I think shoving's fine. I think shoving here is fine. Because our SPR doesn't really allow us to fold many top pairs. I chose instead check. He checks back, and now I don't think there's any question, but the only size is shove.
Yep.
We're not gonna, this is one of these, like if this was, oh wait, this is a YouTube. So Scotty, you can make the title of this OMG exclamation point. You aren't gonna believe the combo he called us with pre-flop. 4-2 of the spades.
Oh, jeez.
So this is just a suck out, but OMG exclamation point, you won't believe his combo. So I guess really the questions are here, right? You like this sizing,
Mm-hmm.
great flop. I think I like your sizing. I don't think you have to go this big. I think I like our 11 big blinds. It's good here.
No, MSI like bigger, like a half.
Here,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, it's really super polarizing. I mean, really, we want to bet small here because of the SPR. The SPR is ridiculous for a cash game. And we want, I mean, so we've got a really good hand. You know, we probably have like equity in the 70s. So we're not so motivated to fold. Are things like jacks with the jack of spades. Are hands like 10-9 of diamonds. There's a lot of hands that we don't want to fold. We want to maintain a wide range because we've got really good equity. That would be the argument against a big bet. So, okay, and I like your shove. I think shoving's fine here. I just chose to instead shove on river. So solver does like this, solver doesn't like my check. Solver wants to down bet to like, so Jeff, you just raised your hand. That's cool. Put something in check.
Oh, no, I just got a question about the flop bet size, but just something I think about when I make that flop bet.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't know if my logic is good here, but I would tend to go with something like 10 big blinds because that puts villains SPR right at 1.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know if that's good logic in terms of how I decide on that sizing, but and I know it's only a difference between 10 or 15 big blinds on the bet, but that's how I tend to figure out what size that flop bet should be. Is that just some nonsense logic that I have in my head, or is there some merit to that?
I think you're right. I think a lot of it has to do, well, what you're thinking about SPR, right? Like,
Yeah.
and what's our SPR gonna be after we bet? And I think, no, I think your logic's straight on.
Well, what I
Um,
don't want to do is give them the option to be like, I mean, I know we know that eventually they got the flush they're going to call anyway, but I don't want to give them the option to be like, well, I'm already in here and my SPR is like 0.7 now, so I may as well call. I don't want to give them that option on the turn.
Okay. Yeah, so, and also I think the other advantage of going smaller is that you're keeping more of his marginal hands that you're clearly ahead of, like eights with the spade, jacks with the spade. We like a wide range when we have top pair, top kicker. This is an awkward spot though because of the sizing. Because this is not kind of a natural SPR to have. Probably players who play with bigger stacks are more used to kind of having weird SPRs, but. Yeah, I think your logic's on. I think a 10 or 11 is probably a good sizing there. Well, I think it's a better sizing. I think you're just keeping his range wider. And it gets us to pot. And Mike mentioned that before, right? Mike was playing a 2-street game in where he was betting 12 big blinds and shoving turn. Is that right, Mike? Did I get that right?
Yep.
I think that's a fine option. All right. I got energy for more if you want, Mike. Or if you've had enough, that's fine too. Or anybody else?
I'm gonna see if I get some hands in next week, hopefully.
All
Stop
right.
procrastinating. But yeah,
That's cool,
I'm
Stan.
gonna start getting ready for work here and stuff. So
Well, thanks for
Yep.
coming. Oh, it's important I remind you guys. So we're moving the
Yep.
starting time next week. We're moving it 2 hours earlier, so it matches the starting time for Tuesday. So we do this, if you don't know, we do this on Mondays and Tuesdays. The starting time is 12:15 New York City time. So 12:15 Eastern.
yeah,
And
so same time for both.
same time for both next week.
I like that better. Yeah.
So we're gonna start at, and yeah, so we've got some new guys here, which is great. And we hope you come back next week. Just come back next week 2 hours earlier.
On Monday.
On Monday, yeah, so we're gonna have the same time on Monday and Tuesday.
Awesome. Can't wait to be back. Until then, may the poker gods be with you all.
Thank you, sir, and with you.
Yeah,
Talk to you next
thanks,
Monday.
guys. Thanks,
Thank you.
Larry, for leading.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, guys. I thought it was a really productive session.
You know.
All right. See you guys.